modes propagating basically perpendicular to the screen. Okay. And this type of core of a waveguide typically have two modes. Okay, one which is T and another one is a TM mode. Okay, core is at the center, so concentration of mode is also at the center of a waveguide. So the two modes which we get for this particular core section is having different polarizations. Okay, so first this particular question arises why we require this type of waveguide, polarization independent wave. Suppose if we excite this particular waveguide, or if we inject some linearly polarized mode in this particular waveguide. Okay, uh, whether it is a quasi TE or TM mode, so light will be linearly polarized on reaching at the other end of a waveguide. Okay, it doesn't matter if we have a linearly polarized mode in horizontal or a vertical direction. Okay, but the light will be linearly polarized when it will be reaching to other end. Uh, but suppose if we have a linearly polarized in some oblique direction. Okay, so if we have some angle and we have linearly polarized, then depending based on the waveguide parameters, it might be possible that it may have a different propagation constant in the x and y direction. Okay, and based on that, the linearly polarized wave may get modified, and it may convert to other polarizations, whether it is elliptical polarization or any other. Okay, so it may deviate the effective application for which we have designed a waveguide. So for avoiding this type of situation, we need to have a configuration of a waveguide, okay, in such a way so that it would have a polarization independent characteristics. Okay, so now our main agenda is to plot this particular graph. Okay, so in this section we are going to see the how do we parameterize the thing to get the result of this. So now I am directly switching to mode. So now, as you can see, this is the OptiBoard window which I have opened, and in that particular, first I have clicked on the new. Okay, so it directly creates a initial property dialog box, and initially I am providing a waveguide width to be 3 microns. Okay, and I am leaving this particular thing over here. Apart from that, for a 3D wafer properties, I am making a cladding thickness of 2 microns. Okay, and the material I am considering as air right now. Okay, so these all are the default parameters which I am configuring right now. Okay, so on clicking OK, you can see we have a screen. Okay, popping out over here. Let me make it to 3 microns. Okay, okay. So now the next portion, as you can see over here, we have to define the dielectric materials. Okay, so first what I am doing, I am double clicking on the material, so it is opening the profile designer dialog box. Okay, and in that particular profile designer dialog box, as you can see over here, we have a material. Okay, so in material we have different type of materials which we can define over here. Now I am interested to define a dielectric material, so I directly right click on the dielectric and click on new. Okay, so in this particular, I am making it to n equals to 3.1, and the material reflective index is also 3.11. Next material I am going to define as the material for core. So n equals to the refractive index of that particular material is 3.45. So I am directly writing the name as n equals to 3.45, and I am defining the value as 3.45. This is a refractive index for a gallium indium arsenide phosphide. Okay, okay. So segments. Okay, next what we have to do, we have to uh, define a channel. Okay, so in channel I am again right clicking on that, and you can see we have opening a channel profile. So in channel profile, by default the name is channel pro 1. Okay, and as you can see over here, we have different layers of that particular channel. Okay, so I am making 3 layers over here corresponding to these particular uh, thickness values. So in that particular layer 1, first the width, by default I am considering as 1, and over here we have what, the thickness of upper cladding, core and lower cladding all have 500 nanometers. So the value I am substituting over here for thickness is 0.5 micron, which is corresponding to 500 nanometer, and the material I am defining over here is n equals to 3.171. Okay, so I am adding this particular thing over here. So this is what a first layer. Okay, now the next layer I am adding is layer 2, and again the width I am considering is 1, thickness is again 0.5. Now the material I have selecting is n equals to 3.45. Okay, so this is layer 2, and next is a layer 3. So layer 3 we have again a lower cladding which is of 3.171. So this way we have defined a layered structure with a specific material and specific thicknesses. Okay, and now I am storing this over here. Again I am moving back to my mode designer. I want to add a waveguide segment, so I directly click on the screen, and over here we have a add waveguide segment. So I just click on that, and now I have to uh, then parameters, okay, for that particular waveguide. So in this particular waveguide, as you can see, we have, on double clicking on waveguide cross section, we have a properties dialog box opening over here, and in that particular properties dialog box we have to define a value. So basically uh, y positions and x position is 0. So as you can see over here, we have a cross section over here. Okay, so we want to make a waveguide that is lying over here in this particular cross section. Okay, so the y position and x position I am making to 0. You also keep in mind this particular offset value, that should also be 0. Okay, and by default I am considering is 2 micron. Okay, initially we have defined 3, that's why it is written over here 3. Okay, now I am making it to 2. So by default name is waveguide cross section, and profile is channel pro 1. Okay, this is the similar name which we have defined over here. So channel pro 1, we have defined all these 3 layers. Okay, so I have simply select a profile in which we have created those particular 3 layers. Okay, simply evaluate, apply, and click on OK. So as you can see over here, it automatically creates the layered structure over here. Okay, now as we can click on the refractive index profile, so you can see in the refractive index profile we have a very clear view that the maximum refractive index is 3.45 over here, and the upper cladding and lower cladding is having an index of 3.171, which is lying somewhere over here. But now over here we have a refractive index of some other value. Okay, but in our structure we have a substrate which is similar to the material having a lower cladding. Okay, so I have to change particular thing. For that, what I have to do, I have to double click on the simulation domain, and over here you can see the substrate. Okay, and in that particular substrate material I simply click on the material of a lower cladding, which is 3.171. Okay, and simply clicking on OK. So now you can see we have the structure which looks something like this. Okay, So this is the initial setup which we have made for our waveguide segment. Now, for analyzing the modal profile for this particular waveguide, I have to click on this particular solving option in the toolbar. So in solving option, we have a solver parameters. Apart from that, we have different type of methods by which we can calculate the mode for this particular cross section of a waveguide. Okay, so I can directly click on these particular methods also, but I am clicking on the solver parameters. So we can also make a uh, variation in parameters over here in this particular method. So different methods are available over here. Okay, so this one is a ADI method, which is nothing but a alternating direction implicit method. Apart from that, we have a finite difference method and the FEM method. And for fiber analysis, we have different two other methods, which is a fiber linear polarized and fiber. Okay, so out of these particular methods, we are going to prefer a ADI method. Okay, the reason for selection of ADI method, which is a alternating direction implicit, is that the for a waveguide which is having a low index contrast, as you can see over here, the upper cladding and lower cladding uh, refractive index is having a very uh, uh, is is having a very low index contrast. Okay, I mean to say the fraction uh, of difference is very low over here. Okay, so for the analysis of a waveguide which is having a low index contrast, the method which is preferred is ADI, which gives us the reliable solution and is also a very fast. Apart from that, two different methods which are finite difference and finite element method. The finite difference method basically is used or is to opt when there is a high index contrast. Okay, so the method will get a reliable results. Okay, apart from that, the finite element method is when there is a complex geometry. Okay, I mean to say, if you have to analyze a bent waveguide, or if you have a waveguide which is having some oblique planes over here. Okay, for example, suppose if we have these particular two side walls which is having a oblique planes. Okay, so then in that particular case we have to use a finite element method. Okay, since over here we do not have any such complexity over here, and also the refractive index is having a very less difference, so we used to opt a ADI method. Okay, so in ADI method we have different parameters over here. Okay, so we simply uh, make a number of modes over here as 2. Okay, because we are interested in knowing the TE and TM modes. Okay, so the two fundamental modes we want to analyze. Okay, apart from that, the wavelength we have represent over here is 1.55, and in setting we are making this particular arrangement of complex acceleration parameter. Okay, and I am making it to 10. This may take little bit more time, but it will give a more reliable results. Okay, and rest all the parameters uh, I am leaving it to unchanged. Okay, so we have a index tolerance and field tolerance value which we are not defining over here, and it is fixed and by default. So I am simply clicking on OK. Okay, so this make a temporary arrangement, and now I am clicking on solve ADI method. So in solve ADI method we have a run over here, and first I have to save this file as wg. Okay, so I have saved this particular file, and you can see it is very fast, and I have got the result over here. So for mode 1 and mode 2 we have found two different modes. Okay, so in mode 1 the mode index is around 3.3187632. Okay, and it is of the nature quasi T. Okay, apart from that, second mode we have found which is of 3.310. Okay, and it is of the nature quasi TM. Okay, so now as you can see, we have found these two particular mode. So first we are trying to analyze that whether we get a uh, whether we have got a result or not. So you can see over here in this particular thing, uh, as the waveguide width increases, okay, so here the width is 1.4, and as the waveguide width increases, this particular T modes get dominated and TM mode get dominated when the waveguide width is less. Okay, so over here you can see we have a T mode which is having a value of 3.318, okay, and TM mode which is having a value 3.310. Okay, so this type of behavior we have seen. Okay, so based on that we can interpret that the initially the parameters we have selected is correct, and we are in the right direction to get a result. Okay, so uh, as here waveguide width is 1.4 and we have selected a waveguide width of 2, so the maximum modal index over here is around 3.29. Okay, and since we have selected a waveguide width of 2, we got a modal index of 3.318. Okay, so this is the initial thing which we have done. Now suppose if I modify the waveguide width to 1 micron. Okay, over here we have a waveguide width of micron. Suppose if I modified it to 1 micron, then you can see over here we have a modal index which is having a 3.26 value. Okay, and the polarization is TM. Apart from that, mode 2 is having a 3.24 and it is having a polarization of T. And again, uh, we got a similar behavior uh, which we have seen over here in this graph. Okay, so for a waveguide width of around 1, we have a T mode which is having a low value and TM mode is having a high value. Okay, so similar behavior we have got over here, that the TM mode is having a higher value than TE mode. So based on that we can interpret that the parameters we have selected and defined is almost correct. Okay, and now we can proceed for a parameter sweep. Okay, okay, so now for parameter sweep, what we have to do is I am simply click on waveguide cross section. On double clicking on waveguide cross section, we have a waveguide width over here. Apart from that, we have a symbol over here, fx, okay, which allow us to define a waveguide width in terms of parameters. Okay, so I simply click on this particular fx. Okay, it is opening variable and function dialog box, and in that particular variables and function dialog box I am first creating one variable which is having a name width and writing the expression to 1. Okay, so after verifying and adding, we get the parameter variable add over here. Okay, the second parameter I am defining is a window width. Okay, which is basically dependent on the this particular parameter. So let us suppose I am making the window width as a 2 multiply times of width. Okay, so the reason being is that if we have a varying width, then I have to select a simulation region in such a way so that uh, it it will satisfy all the requirements. Okay, so in width I am simply defining a parameter over here. Okay, which I have just created, and click on evaluate. And okay, Apart from that, in simulation region, we have a 3D wafer properties, okay, and in that particular 3D wafer properties, I am writing simply a window width, okay. Okay, so now it is all modified. Now we have to run a parameter sweep. Okay, so for parameter sweep, you can see over here in tools of this particular toolbar, we have an option available over here as a parameter sweep, and on clicking on that, we have opened this particular window. Okay, and over here in this window we have a parameters. So on clicking on the parameters, you can see the number of parameters which we have defined is pop out over here. So in this particular graph, we want to analyze a result according to a waveguide width. Okay, so I am simply click on the width and click on OK. So now in the left side we have a level and we have a width over here defined. Okay, so on clicking on that, we have a by default iteration values over here. Okay, we can change these particular iteration values by right clicking on that and set a iteration count. Okay, so if I make it to 6, then we have a total 6 iteration counts. Okay, now I want to change the value. I want to change the value of the widths over here, so I can manually change it, or we can have different spread tools over here. Okay, so by making use of these particular spread tools, I can change the widths according to these particular linear expression, exponential, logarithmic values, or any other specific formulation. So let us suppose I am making it to linear. Okay, so I simply click on the width. Okay, so all get selected and just click on linear. So in the linear, we have a start value which is 1, and next we have a end value. So end value I am selecting as 2. So the width is varying from 1 micron to 2 micron. Okay, so now you can see we have a different value of width available over. So you can make any number of parameter sweep by selecting, by using these particular spread tools. Apart from that, I want to also plot these particular I want to plot a modal index or effective index corresponding to these particular width. Okay, so I can simply use this particular graph feature over here. Okay, so on clicking on that, you can see we have a add button over here, and we have different parameters. So in this particular add button, we can have different we can modify the graph according to our requirement. So let us suppose I want the axis name to be width, and y label I want to make it to uh, modal index or effective index. Okay, next I want to make a title of this graph is width versus modal index. Okay, and now I am selecting over here is what mode data, and legends is also a modal index. So I just click on the OK. Okay, so you can see width versus modal index and the title which we have provided over here. Okay, now simply click on OK, and again click on OK. So this is all done for a parameter sweep. Now again we are going to uh, start a simulation corresponding to a parameter sweep. So I simply click on solving and then solve ADI. So in this particular solve ADI, as you can see over here, we have a number of options. Okay, so before that we have unchecked this particular thing because we have only a single value of waveguide width. Okay, now we have a parameter sweep, so I simply click on that, use sweep script, or by default it is clicked when you have defined a parameters for your for a waveguide or any other structure. Okay, so it is automatically clicked on OK. Okay, and I start simulating this particular thing. So now you can see we have a simulation. Uh, we have completed the simulation and all the values get saved. Okay, and now we have another property which is a OptiMode analyzer. Okay, so I am simply click on OK and it automatically opened a OptiMode analyzer. So you can see we have over here iteration. Okay, so we have run 6 iterations, so all the values are over here. Apart from that, in the left of a window we have a refractive index, modal field and solver information. So if I click on modal field, so you can see we have a modal value over here. Now let me change the visualizer setting to image map. Okay, so now you can see the modal values. Okay, for different iterations. Suppose it is iteration 1, then we have a iteration 2, 3. Okay, for all the values we have a for all the different values of a waveguide width we have a values over here. Okay, and we can also select the TM and TE mode over here. So you can see how easily we can perform a modal analysis. Now as you have remembered that we have used a graph property and make the title width versus modal index. So now you can see in the OptiMode analyzer we have this particular title present over here. So now as I click on that, we have this particular graph. Okay, so in this particular graph, we have a modal index automatically plotted according to a width. Okay, the x-axis we have named as a width and y as a modal index. So that characteristics we have got over here. Now if I want to make it more visible, then I have to click on these particular parameters, these particular utilities, and then first I am making it a legend. Okay, so mode and mode 2. Next, the info window. Okay, and tracer. Okay, apart from that, okay, so this is a curve property, so I'm making it to different colors so it get easily visualized to so now you can see we have a curves over here. So this represents mode 1 and this represents mode 2. Okay, so as we have seen in this particular graph, the behavior is almost same. Since we have used a only 6 iteration count, that's why the curve is not very much smooth. If you increase the number of iteration count, then you will get a very clear curve. Okay, so this the behavior we have replicated over here, and you can see for a waveguide width of around if you can see I have already started a information window over here. Okay, so if I put my cursor on the graph, it will pop out the values over here, and I have already started a tracer. Okay, so all the values I can easily check. So you can see this is the point where both the polarization are crossing each other, and this is the point where we got a modal index which is having a similar value for TE and TM mode. Okay, so for if we design a waveguide in this particular width, then definitely we do not have any dependency of the polarization over here. So as you can see over here in the information window, you can see the width is around 1.28. Okay, and the refractive index is also around 3.28678. Okay, so this is the point we can easily design a waveguide width for a polarization independent application. So this is so you can see how easily can make a modal analysis of a waveguide, and based on those particular model analysis, we can design any devices for any specific applications. Okay, I think it is clear to all